Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we have to talk about one of the most infuriating things about the new tech world that we live in, and that is subscription-based everything. This is getting way out of hand, and we've got some new news that you might not have heard of, but I think, quite frankly, this is an important one, and this is where the world is going, even if they're getting pushback. And so this is coming from The Verge, but there's a lot of different write-ups on this because, quite frankly, there was backlash, which is a good thing. So what we're talking about is Logitech. Recently, their CEO, Hanneke Faber, shared her company's early concept for what a quote-unquote forever mouse would look like. Now, she was speaking to the editor-in-chief of Verge, Nalay Patel, on the Decoder podcast. Now, Faber described this potential mouse as a high-quality software-enabled mouse that lasts as long as a good wristwatch. Quote, "The forever mouse, I think, is one of those things that we'd like to get to." Now, this had a huge amount of backlash because the concept that Logitech might be planning to actually make you pay monthly for what is essentially a common computer peripheral, that's insane. So the backlash was absolutely huge. You buy a mouse, you can buy one for $10, you can buy one for $200, and it's yours. There should be no subscription here. So, by virtue of that, it essentially crushed Logitech's plan, or forward thinking, as they say, basically, and they had to quickly issue a statement. And Logitech's stance is that, and I quote, "The mouse mentioned is not an actual or planned product, but a peek into provocative internal thinking on future possibilities for more sustainable consumer electronics," end quote. And so I understand the concept of, okay, I'm paying $20 a month for a mouse, $5 a month for a mouse, whatever it is. That is good for a company like Logitech because now you've got continuing ongoing revenue for something that, you can basically keep. If it breaks, odds are for the $5, they're going to cover it. And so you might have this mouse for 5 years. You've paid way more than you would have for a mouse one time that would have kept you 5 years. And their logic is, okay, it's better for the environment. We have to produce less of these things. You're keeping them for longer, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But here's the thing. Subscription fatigue is a real thing. And companies that provide these ongoing, costs and software support for products and all of that clearly need to understand that a subscription model cannot be the default response every time a CEO wants to do something new. We used to buy Microsoft Word for, $100, whatever it was, and you'd keep it for 3 to 5 years. Well, now you're paying way more than that for the entire suite of products, but they're giving you the upgrades and you're just perpetually paying, and Microsoft can then count on that revenue. But it goes to the absolutely ridiculous here. So, perfect example of this. You can buy subscriptions to things like self-driving capabilities in Teslas, which you shouldn't do. But, perfect example, the Cybertruck. You can start paying for that. It's $10,000 for that, but it's not even an available thing that you're paying for. BMW, they tried to do it with heated seats. So you'd buy a car that had the capability to give you heated seats, but you had to unlock it for a subscription fee. And then basically BMW essentially backed off that model due to backlash. So backlash does help, but understand that these companies are looking at that Microsoft model. They are looking at that ongoing subscription-based model and say, we're picking up what you're putting down. But when it comes to things like hardware, like a car or a mouse or anything else, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. It's same with a television. I can absolutely see that, where you go buy a Samsung or something like that and you pay $50 a month, assuming you're not, getting it on a loan, and you just keep paying $50 a month until you die, and every 5 years or so you might need to replace that TV and Samsung will send you one, but you've paid vastly more than what the TV is worth. And so this is the issue. And so by virtue of that, this is one of those profit centers that essentially any type of company, even one that's going to sell you a flippin' mouse, is looking at doing to us. And quite frankly, these are the things that we need consumer protections for, and these are the things that make no sense. I have no desire to essentially buy a forever mouse. I'd rather buy a mouse, use it till the wheels fall off, or used to have a wheel anyway, and now I can look at a new model, but I've capitalized on that cost, the $50, $100, whatever I spent on that mouse. Odds are by the time I need to replace it, if it was in a subscription model, it could potentially have been $500 since I need to replace that mouse. And that's not good for me, but it's good for them. And so something to think about. That is your news of the day. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well, where hopefully you're not paying for anything. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.